What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing tonight? Welcome back to another episode of Cinetober. Yes, I do not have the Walking Dead theme playing, but that is because I am not reviewing a movie. I am reviewing American Psycho, the book. Now, for those who know, I did do my review of the movie American Psycho, and that is on my YouTube channel. You can go check that out. But I have been reading this book for a good long time, and I can just say, this book is hilarious, but it is also one of the most terrifying books I have ever read, everybody. And I'm just going to say right now that if you do not want to know what happens in this book, you need to leave now, because the stuff I'm getting ready to talk about is not for kids. This book is very graphic, and it has a lot of blood, guts, and a lot of inappropriate things in it. So if you do not want to know what is in this book, and if you do not want to be disturbed, you need to leave. All right, for those who are staying, let's continue. Okay, so American Psycho is the book of one Patrick Bateman, and this is written by Bret Easton Ellis. This book is like the movie, but it is so disturbing, but it is so funny. It's about the same thing as it goes through the movie, although they do switch some scenes that are in this book into the movie. Like, for example, it's not Evelyn who says to Patrick that she hates this job, that he hates this job, that he needs to quit. It's his ex-girlfriend, Beth. And this scene, or not this scene, this book is not for the faint of heart. It really is not. This book is the torture and the rape. It is maximized to 100. Like the movie has a couple sex scenes. This has a lot, but it also has really gruesome torture. This makes 50 Shades of Grey look like a walk in the park, everyone. I'm like, there were times I had to put the book down because I was like, my gosh. Ugh. But, okay. In the book, basically, the things I loved about this book is intense. It really is intense. Every page I turned, it just got darker and darker and darker, and I was just like, my gosh. No wonder the movie was such a success. But I needed to take a break. I read this book a lot when I was going to Illinois and I was on a plane. And there are actually some other characters in this book that are not mentioned in the movie. Like, we get some talks about his parents, his mom, his brother. And they even go in about, like, how him and Evelyn met. And that's one thing that I wish that they had done in the movie, is that they had at least shown how him and Evelyn met. Because in the book, he calls himself Evelyn's fiancé. Like, he says that he's her fiancé. And like, I was hoping he'd kill her, because she is annoying in the movie. One of the things that he does to her in the movie, because he's trying to kill her, to get away from her, because she's annoying as heck, is he takes one of those mint soap patties that you put in the urinals, and he freezes it. He puts it in the freezer, covers it in chocolate, freezes it, puts some mint leaves on it, and he has it served to Evelyn at a restaurant. And I was like, my gosh, this is disgusting. And Evelyn is as dumb as a bag of bricks, or dumb as a bag of rocks, and she's like, this tastes weird. What? He's like, just keep eating it. And I was like, my gosh, this is disgusting. There was one person that I wish he would have killed in this book that he did not kill in the movie, and that was Lewis Carruthers. I wanted him to kill this guy. He didn't in the movie, but he almost does in the book. Like, after the scene with him and Patrick in the bathroom, there's like 2 more scenes where they were together. And like the last one is in the mall, and he's like, Lewis, you need to get away. I'm going to kill you if you do not stop. I'm going to murder you. And he's like, Lewis says, it doesn't matter what you do to me. I love you too much. It won't be enough. And I was like, Patrick, please kill this guy. And like a lot of the conversations in a lot of the monologues in the movie do happen, but one thing that kind of kept me stale, one of the problems with the book, or at least it was a downfall for me. It was like my downfall in The Lost World. There was a chapter where Ian was just spitting out a lot of dialogue, and I kind of got bored. A lot of this movie, a lot of this book, Patrick talks about like what a lot of different people are wearing, and there was just times where I was like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm sorry, I don't care. But like there's more done with Jean or Janine or whatever. There's more done with her. Like at the end, like near the end of the book, like Janine talks about how she's in love with him, and like how she almost brings out a human side of Patrick Bateman, which we know he doesn't have. But like just a lot of the weird things that he says. Like he talks about like how he talks about his routines, his workout routines. He talks about like how he masturbates a lot, how much porn he watches, and I was like, my gosh, this is hilarious. Like this book does have some funny moments, like now in the book when he kills Paul Owen, it's not Alan. When he kills Paul Owen in the book, he does kill him with an axe, but he's not playing any of the music. He doesn't talk about music that much in this book, actually, like he does in the movie. They combine a lot of characters together, like they act, like they do. And the book, this book just kept hitting me and hitting me and hitting me in the stomach with intense scenes because of like when he has sex with those two hookers, and like it goes into extreme detail of what he does with them and then what he does to them, because like in the movie like it shows like he gets a coat hanger and that's it, but in the book it talks about what he does to them, like how he scratches them. I thought he was honestly giving them an abortion, but no, he does a lot of terrible stuff to women in this book, and it is disgusting. It is so hard for me to read. It was really hard. I mean, like, I don't mind gore, but torture, if it, like, I cannot stand pointless torture, which is why I will not watch Hostel or The Human Centipede. I cannot take pointless torture. But that's what's actually kind of scary about the book, is, like, he just targets... Like, there's two, or like, there's like a couple girls that he gets with that he surprisingly does not kill. In the movie when he's talking to that big-breasted model bimbo, they're in his apartment and he has a nail gun pointed to her head. And he asks her to get up and leave because he doesn't think he can control himself. And he pretty much asks her if she wants to get hurt. And she's like, no. And he's like, well, I don't want to hurt you, so you need to leave or you are going to die. He doesn't kill her. He doesn't kill Janine. And they kind of drop the stuff with the detective. Like, there's one scene with the detective, and it's like when he comes in and he asks him about Paul Owen and, like, his disappearance and stuff like that. And then they mention the detective one other time, but there's no closing scene with him. And I kind of wish that they had closed that up. But like I said, this book has a lot of nudity. It has a lot of torture. It has a lot of disgusting, horrible things that he does to all these women. And like, there's another thing. I found out that like the old man that the homeless person that he kills in the movie, that's a game, or it's not like, he doesn't kill homeless people a lot, like that's not the game. But the game is like they'll find someone who's homeless, they'll tease like, oh, I'm gonna help you get back on your feet, I'm going to help you become better, become successful, and they would give someone money, but then they would take it away and mock them. And I was like, my gosh, you all are horrible people. And there's more scenes with him and Courtney, about how he almost gets caught with Janine and Jean and Evelyn, how he almost gets caught in having an affair, but he thinks that Evelyn is having an affair with him, or she's having an affair with Tim Bryce. And they do the card scene from the movie, and probably the most intense scene that he does, in like the most intense torture, I'd have to say is probably the last two girls that he murders. Like, he murders a lot of girls, but like a lot of the times he'll murder two girls at once. And he murders one girl pretty quickly, but then the second one, he just does all these horrible... No. Actually, I'm wrong. What he does to his ex-girlfriend, Beth, is one of the most toughest torture scenes I have ever read. Oh my gosh. He cut her eyelids. He burned her eyelids. He put nails in her head. He skinned her. Gosh. This is a perfect book to read during Halloween. I think I started this in September, I want to say. Now, when I first started out, it was kind of slow, but it gradually picked up, and I was glad that I read this. Guys, like I've said before, if you want to read this book, take some precautions, because this book has a lot of torture and it goes into extreme depth of what he does to these women. And you know, it's got some hilarious, funny scenes. It's got really good suspense. It's got good characters. It really shows how people in the 80s were like that, and that's the joke. And it's funny. This does have some funny moments, but this was difficult to read. This was terrifying. I'm gonna give American Psycho an A. Guys, I strongly advise, if you're going to read this book, if you're not old enough to read it, do not ask your parents to buy this. Do not. This book is not for kids. But, you know, if you're going to read this, you're going to have to probably have a strong stomach, because what a lot of the stuff that he does to these girls, all of these people. Guys, this has been another episode of Cinetober. Put in the comments below, have you watched American Psycho? Have you read American Psycho? Which do you prefer? What was some of the things that you liked that they did in the book that they didn't do in the movie? I really want to know. I hope you are enjoying Cinetober. Hit that like button. Share this video with your friends, your enemies. Tell your enemies to share it with their enemies, and that way we can all be better people. Have a good day, guys.